Hello, welcome back to my explained series on the design of Sentinels and Bosses Set 1, the Sigil's Awakening. So this will be the final part, and I got a bit of a reveal on the last part of this series. I also revealed two other things about Set 2, and those are in the first two design videos. I might be missing a couple things, but I can always just make like a smaller video, just like, hey, I forgot to say these things. But as of right now, this will be it for the design behind series. I'll try. The next video should be me opening and looking at the starter decks, for they should arrive soon. And by the way, about those, they are out now. You can purchase your own copy of the starter deck on the case and starter deck all for power. I had some fun making these certain cards, like this. I liked designing this little guy. He's nice. This is young Slimeworth. I already revealed him earlier. And expanding the Turtle Earlman line, they've kind of been my favorite line of characters, seeing why they are kind of the main character, minus his little sidekick right here, Officer Sway. So I'll just quickly explain why I chose the Turtle Earlmans. Okay, so first off, look at him. He's great. I love. He was one of my favorite early artworks. I just like the whole turtle look. That, and I like the idea behind his set of cards being there's a set card like the original card, and you kind of have to branch out. That concept I always like that. Also, he's pretty versatile. If I want to make him a detective, I just put on a detective hat, give him a what is that? Spyglass? Magnifying glass. There we go. And also, I spread the nose out for this one. I don't know why, but that's just what happens whenever he becomes a detective. His nose just spreads out. Same thing with, I don't know, not with that, but definitely, get a little ahead of myself there. Definitely one of my favorite early cards, number 20, which means, I'll just quickly explain this. So whenever I design the beta cards, it's in papers of 8. So this would be in the third page of cards. Yes, third page of cards I would make. I made the Turtle Earlmans. So it was very early. The first 2 higher cards, I believe. And he was very fun to make. Just draw the different turtles. Although, I don't know what this was meant to be. I think it was just meant to be the normal texture on the Turtle Earlmans, but that kind of became just like, I don't know. You know those like things on squids and octopus? Those little sucker things? I think that's what that meant to be. I don't know. Also kind of messed up with the foot here. Oh no, they're alright. They're alright. But yeah, one of my favorite early rounded cards. And for the Officer Sway portion, why I chose Sway to also be one of the main heroes of Set 1 was because, again, early card, so he was easy to make into a supporting cast because I already had his design really early on. So if I put him on a card, if I put him on a lot of cards, that makes sense because he was early. Also, I just liked he was pretty easy to draw. Again, it feels weird looking at Sway without the officer part, but yeah, I liked him. Again, a lot with these earlier artworks is the pin work is a bit rough, but that's because whenever I started making the card game, I would use the same pin. I had this as my pin for the card game, but the pin was old and it was running out of ink. So the early game pin work is very light colored and pretty scratchy compared to the rest of it. That's just because the pin was bad. Eventually, I think after like 30 cards, I ended up replacing the pin. But that's why the early cards have very light lining compared to the other cards in the card game. But that's why I chose them as the main character, because I thought I just really liked their design, and I thought they'd be interesting to continue drawing with more stuff. That's also why I turned him to a blimp eventually, air balloon, sorry, over here. Okay, so other than that, why did I make Mayor Slimeworth the villain of set 1? Well, he's a mayor, so politician, obviously gonna be a little slimy, that's why he's Slimeworth, and he also has slime on him. He's also a snail, or a slug, sorry. Slug. Also, I just like the idea of just a little politician pulling some dark magic to try to win his election without his political opponents having a choice. But that's getting too much into the story. I'll do a story explained video later on for set 1. Alright, now I'm going to get into one other type of card, then the big reveal will happen. Okay? The Dark Grigoraptor. So, he was a set of 8 cards that I made specifically for the box boosters, because the box boosters have 8 extra cards which you can't get in the packs, just because I thought it would be a little neat to have rarer cards that are harder to get, that you can only get in the box boosters, because I thought that'd be fun. And Dark Rigoraptor is one of my favorite cards because, one, his artwork, his little legs in the original Grigoraptor have become hands. He's holding what's meant to be, if you can see that, that's actually meant to be a baby Swallworm. So there's a card called Swallworm, and he's kind of holding it. It's like a baby, and he's gonna eat it. And he's like Grigoraptor, but he's from that dark, mysterious place right there, which I can't go into detail of. So he's bad. But I like his ability, because it works really well with Lucky Number 7, which is my personal favorite draw card ability. If you didn't know, Lucky Number 7, you draw 7 cards, and then at the end of your turn, you discard your entire hand. So, or no, you draw till you have 7 cards. In your turn, discard your entire hand. A really good just combo piece, and if you somehow draw like all Dark Grigoraptors, you can have 3 Dark Grigoraptors on your field and only have 6 danger level. So you can play something that has 4 danger level. So he's very fun to play with, just a decently sized creature with low danger level. The only downside is you have to discard them, or your field's going to be completely full with danger level, which, I'd say that's a pretty good price to pay for a 35, 35, 35. Or you can discard them and get them a 35, 35, 35 for 2, which is a much better deal. But yeah, so that is the rest of set 1 explained. I could go into further detail into each card. Example, Sway is obviously a swan, but Sway, also his feet and beak are just part of his skin, if you will. It's feathers, so that's actually meant to be like feathers. It's not like a beak, as you can see, because there's no line there, so it's actually just feathers that are orange. Same here. So let that sink in. Makes it a bit more unsettling, I know. He's just a normal turtle with suckers for whatever reason. Dark Rigoraptor legs are, or his hands are actually legs. Just weird little things like that. I could go into the design detail about every card, but let's get into the set 2 spoiler. So, I've already began work on set 2, and I've completed 2 cards, which I will show you. First card is continuation of the Dark Turtler Man. So this was one of my favorite. So this actually came from the original set 2, which has been scrapped due to not being completed, and also a lot of concepts from set 2 are no longer going to be in the game. But he continues with the whole used pile ability. Most dark, or all the dark cards, will have something to do with the used pile. So, boom. Dark Turtler Man, another Turtler Man, which I love, obviously. Okay. Then, boom. Choppas. Another only no ability, sort of decent danger level common card. I like his artwork. He has a very long mouth. I based it off those, like, you know, those kitchen utensils that you kind of like grab things with. That's what I kind of based his mouth on, and then the rest is just like a Loch Ness monster. I don't know what that dinosaur's called, but you know what I'm talking about. But kitchen utensil, you know, the grabby thing with a dinosaur body. So that is the spoiler cards for set 2. Expect more of those to be revealed at some point whenever I get a large percentage of set 2 complete. And the next video should be me showing off starter deck on the case and starter deck all for power. And yeah, that'll be it for today. Thank you for watching.